Okay guys, this is a tutorial for the What I Found section. So, for your iSearch paper. You have to forgive me, this is my 30th time trying to film this. So, the very first place you want to go is to open up your Google Forms, so go to forms.google.com. Now, I realize that some of you have done a SurveyMonkey or did all of your responses on paper for hard copy, and I'm going to get to how to do all of those, but for right now I'm going to start with Google Forms since that's what the majority of you did. So here I have my survey pulled up. I'm going to click that Responses tab, and you'll notice that mine was already set, but when you open yours up, most likely, unless you figure this out before me, you will see a gray bar on the side called Accepting Responses. So right now that means your survey is open and ready. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button. Now it says Not Accepting Responses. In order for you to be able to start your graphs, you need it to say Not Accepting Responses. If someone has a link to your survey and they try it now, they'll just get a little notification that it's not currently available to take. So this will keep your graphs looking the way you want them to. There's one more button I want to talk about on this page, and it's this one right here. It's this little green button. It says View Responses in Sheets. Some of you were just wondering how to get them all into a Google spreadsheet. That is the button that you will pick, and I can show you what that looks like a little bit later. But to answer some of those questions, there it is. So I'm going to scroll down, and I am going to go to my graphs. Now, whether you have SurveyMonkey or Google Forms, it created the graphs for you. If you want to pull the graphs straight from here and copy and paste them into your Google Doc, this is how you're going to do it. So, let's say you start with a Chromebook. If you have a Chromebook, I can't show you how to do that tutorial on here because I'm currently using a PC. However, this is what you would do. So on a Chromebook, you'll notice that there's a little button that sort of looks like a bunch of slides. It's called a window switcher key. If you would like to take an entire screenshot of your computer screen, know that that means that all of your tabs, any ads that are open, your battery life, all of that would show. For the majority of you, that's not going to be what you choose, but if for some reason, maybe you have a very large thing that you want to take a snap of, you're going to click Control Window Switcher at the same time, and that will take a screenshot of it for you. Most of you will just want to capture one small area. It's called a snippet. And to get a snippet with a Chromebook, you will click Control Shift Window Switcher all at the same time. And that's all listed right here. So if you need to, feel free to pause the video if you're on a Chromebook and read this little tutorial. When you actually click that, Take Screenshot will pop up. You will say yes, you want to do that. You'll click to view it. It will automatically download it as an image file. And you'll see that pop up down at the bottom of the screen like it normally does on a Chromebook. And all you have to do is open it, copy and paste it straight into your Google Doc. So that is what you do if you're using a Chromebook. Now, if you're using a PC, whether you're doing this at home or you're at one of the lab computers at the school or the library, the majority of you will probably use a PC for this. If you want to do the entire screen, you do have a button called Print Screen. Excuse me, I'm going to take a sip of tea. You do have a button called Print Screen. For most of you, it will be shortened and it will say System Requirement underneath, and you can see that it's in the top right-hand section of your keyboard. Some of you will actually print out. It will actually have the words printed out on Print Screen, so you just have to see what kind you have. The majority of you, it will look like this button. If you do that, it will automatically, the screen will flash, will automatically download an image for you. Again, that's for the entire screen. What I find most of you will want to do is to take a snippet. So I'm going to go back. Here I am in my spreadsheet, in my form with my responses. Let's say I just want this graph. A side note that right now this is interactive and I can see how many people chose what. That's really good data to use in your paper. However, once I take this and copy and paste it into my paper, it will no longer be interactive. So come back to this if you want to know how many people actually said what versus percentages. So let's say I just want this first one right here. Okay, I'm going to come over here, and I have Windows 10, but you can search in any Windows setup in the same similar way for snipping tool. So here's Snipping Tool. It will pop up in this little box. You're going to click New, and it will immediately turn your screen gray. Okay? When that happens, you want to come over here, basically freezes your screen. And you're basically going to cut out of your screen what you actually want to use. So there it is. Now I have a couple of things that I can do. I can come up here and click Save As and save it to my actual computer, which I do suggest you do, especially if this is a computer that's your computer and you're using a lot. But for right now, I'm going to right click and click Copy. And then I'm going to go to my document that I have pulled up called What I Found. And I'm just going to paste that right in there. So there it is. What's awesome is now I have that and I can start typing about that right away. So I can say something like, my first question, except I'd spell it with a Q, and start typing about it. Okay? Now, so those are the ways, whether you have a Chromebook or a PC, on how to use the Snippet tool and the screen capture tools to copy and paste your graphs right into your document. Now, what if you did yours hard copy? Or what if you just have a few new pieces of information that you found in your research, or you want to combine maybe questions 1 and 5 and see what that graph would look like? For any reason that you might need to make a graph from scratch, it is very, very simple and quick to do. So for that, I'm going to go to Google Sheets. Now, you can see I've already done it, so I'm going to come over here and open a new one. So again, this is Google Sheets. You can find it under your Google dropdown, or you can go to sheets.google.com. And I am going to create a new spreadsheet. Okay? So let's say I asked a question that was a yes, no, or maybe question. So I'm going to type that in here. I'm going to start with yes, maybe, no. I'm going to go back in there and fix that lowercase m. All right. And let's say maybe 36 people said yes, 24 people said maybe, and 12 people said no. I don't know why it's all multiples of 12, that's just what I'm feeling today. Okay, so if you, for instance, calculate all of this data from all of your hard copies and you do the math, this is how you would put your data in there. So then I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to come up here, click Insert, scroll down to where it says Chart, click Chart. It's going to come up with a whole dialog box that has a lot of cool options. So it's defaulted on pie charts. However, a lot of you may want to choose a different kind and know that there's even more on this bar. I'm for right now going to do a horizontal bar graph. Okay? You can see my data is in there right now. I'm going to click Customize. And there are so many options of things that you can do here. I'm going to start with the title. I'm just going to call this one Question 1. You can see you can change and customize what that looks like. And it pops it up there for you to see as you're working before you save it, which is really cool. You can label your axes. I'm going to skip that for right now, though I suggest you do it. I'm going to choose a different color. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to pick lime green. I just like that better. Now, remember, you're turning all of this into me digitally, so I will be able to see all the colors that you put into this. So make this as colorful as you want. So I'm going to click Insert. And now it's inserted it as a chart inside my spreadsheet. Well, it's still not in Google Docs yet, but we're almost there. So go ahead and click this drop down. Click Copy Chart. You can also save it as an image to your desktop, which I recommend doing. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to just paste that straight into my document. So now you can see whether you want to copy and paste your graphs straight from SurveyMonkey or Google Forms, or you would like to create some graphs from scratch, and a lot of you will do a combination of both, but no matter what way you gave your survey, I've now just given you a tutorial of how to get graphs into your paper. What you're going to end up with is a very cool, very professional looking document, and you can do these in any order and customize it the way you want to analyze the data in the best way that makes sense for you. So, if you need to see this tutorial at any time, it's on my Foxy6 YouTube channel, which is just my email. And it's also, I'm going to post this onto my website, my classroom website, which remember is mrskillian.wordpress.com. And if you have any questions, let me know. Pause this, use it as much as you need, and I hope that it's helpful for you. Good luck!